Orientalism is a term that emerged in the 18th and 19th centuries to describe a set of beliefs, representations, and practices associated with the Western study and interpretation of the cultures, societies, and art of the East, particularly the Middle East and Asia. This academic field, rooted in colonial contexts, has had profound implications on how the West perceives and interacts with the East. One key aspect of Orientalism is the construction of a binary opposition between the West and the East. This dichotomy often portrays the West as advanced, rational, and civilized, while the East is depicted as exotic, mystical, and backward. This oversimplified division has contributed to the reinforcement of stereotypes and the justification of colonial and imperialistic endeavors. The roots of Orientalism can be traced back to European encounters with the East during the Age of Exploration. As Western powers expanded their territories and established colonial dominance, a curiosity about the cultures of the East emerged. However, rather than a genuine effort to understand these cultures on their own terms, Orientalism became a tool to assert Western superiority. Artistic representations played a significant role in perpetuating Orientalist ideas. Paintings, literature, and other forms of visual and literary expression often depicted the East as a land of opulence, despotism, and sensuality. Famous works like Jean Leon Gérôme's The Snake Charmer or Ingers's The Turkish Bath exemplify the exoticization and objectification of Eastern cultures, reducing them to mere fantasies for Western consumption. Moreover, Orientalism had a profound impact on academic disciplines such as history, anthropology, and archaeology. Scholars often approached the East with preconceived notions, interpreting its history and culture through a Eurocentric lens. This Eurocentrism not only distorted the understanding of Eastern societies but also justified imperialistic endeavors as a civilizing mission. The political consequences of Orientalism are evident in the colonial practices of the West. The belief in the inherent superiority of Western civilization fueled the imperialistic ambitions of European powers in the Middle East, Africa, and Asia. Colonial administrators, influenced by Orientalist ideas, implemented policies that aimed to reshape and control Eastern societies, often leading to the exploitation and marginalization of indigenous populations. One glaring example is the British colonization of India. The Orientalist perspective portrayed India as a land of mysticism and despotism, reinforcing the idea that British rule was necessary for the enlightenment and progress of the Indian people. This distorted perception justified the exploitation of India's resources and the imposition of British values and institutions. Orientalism also had a lasting impact on the self-perception of Eastern societies. As Western representations shaped the way the East was viewed globally, people in Eastern cultures began internalizing these stereotypes. The consequences of this internalization are still evident in post-colonial societies, where the legacy of Orientalism continues to influence issues of identity, cultural preservation, and resistance against Western hegemony. In addition to its historical dimensions, Orientalism persists in contemporary discourse. The portrayal of the Middle East in Western media, for example, often reinforces stereotypes of violence, backwardness, and fanaticism. These representations not only contribute to a distorted understanding of the region but also have real-world consequences, impacting policies and shaping public opinion. It is essential to recognize the complexities and nuances of Eastern cultures, moving beyond the Orientalist framework that oversimplifies and distorts reality. Engaging in a more nuanced and culturally sensitive approach to understanding the East is crucial for fostering genuine cross-cultural dialogue and dismantling the lingering effects of Orientalism. In conclusion, Orientalism, as a complex system of beliefs, representations, and practices, has left an indelible mark on the relationship between the East and the West. Rooted in historical encounters and perpetuated through art, academia, and colonial policies, Orientalism has had far-reaching consequences on both Eastern and Western societies. Acknowledging and challenging the enduring legacy of Orientalism is essential for fostering a more inclusive and equitable global discourse.